Hello there everyone. It is me, Sono Rayn, and today we are going to continue playing Genshin Impact. I saw the trailer, need to catch up on the story mode, but first gotta do some dailies. Shall we get started? Let's go. Oh man. Yeah, I haven't played since the last time I streamed this. I don't know, I think Armored Core took the majority of that time. Alright. Doesn't look that bad right now. I did take a nap. It was shorter than I expected, but it was still good. Still a nice nap.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my
Just
night.
do that, grab that. Klee, do your job. Oh, no, not over there. Over here. There we go. Now let's get out of here. We'll do this one. I will say Genshin is quite the time investment. And there's just so many side quests that I really have to do those off stream, which I haven't been doing, obviously. That's fine. Alright, let's go. Place food supplies at the first location. Okay, over there. Sometimes I wonder if there's a way to hide the majority of the UI in this game, so you could just appreciate the world more, you know? There it is. Select give. Alright. Thank you, letter. Let's go up here now. To our next espionage. Oh, they saw me. Let's just take care of them real quick.
Into the wind. One with the force.
Hold the line. Boing, boing,
One with nature.
And that guy saw it all. And didn't notice a thing. How ironic. Alright, let's go. Alright, one more. Da da da.
Time to go.
Should be, there it is. Whoop. After we take care of these enemies.
The wind knows me.
Alright. There we go. Then we have to report back to him. Then we got 2 more dailies. There he is. Got one over here. Ooh. Oh, this won't be that bad.
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Okay. Where's the last one? Over here? Go over here. I remember when this game came out, I really enjoyed just walking around, appreciating the environment. Still do, to be honest. Ooh, that's a lot of them. Eh, shouldn't be that bad. Alright, take care of the big guy.
I hear everything. Can't see?
Alright, one more.
Boing, boing, boom!
Into the wind. One with the force. The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call.
And one more. Oh, I only have him as level 60. Weird. Well, it doesn't matter.
One with nature.
Now I could go gather my goodies. And then we could actually start on the story mode.
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra Abbott.
Dispatch. Claim. Add it back. Alright. One more thing. And then I can switch to story mode party. The grind is real. Alright. I think that's all of it. I should probably...
Time to
Let me
go.
just turn this into condensed resin.
There's a strange wanderer near Wolfen.
There we go. Alright. Now we can finally start playing. Where was my story mode team? There it is. Not the strongest, but it will do. Alright, what quest were we refocusing on? Prelude, Adventure in the Door. The other quest to continue. Alright. City of Remembrance, I believe. Yeah. Story quests. Oh my god, there's so many. Wait, what? Oh god, there's so many. What? Okay. What's this one? Complete Palman Act 1 to start this quest. Palman chapter. I'm assuming... Oh, right. That was that one. That's the different one. We're looking for this one. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Let us begin our espionage. Ba-ba-da-ba. This is the opera house, isn't it?
Honestly, I'm not a big fan. Cases are a lot.
Alright, let's go. Wonder what the world boss is gonna be for this one.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Come.
Kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been
I
looking
have
forward to
water. Let me drink some.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
Okay. You know, I actually didn't try him out when the free trial was allowed. So, I really
The
don't know
Opera
his
House
kit.
has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Thank you.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Linny.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Lenny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Best get busy.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Linny.
I really like the blue accent on the Traveler. Looks really nice. Oh, wrong way. This way. Ooh, so this is what it looks like inside. Oh. What was it again? Oh, not that. What was it for Vision? I honestly forgot what the Vision button was. Okay, that's skill. The heck was it? Oh, right. You had to do this, and then... Right, it was that. This is an interesting opera house. Nice architecture.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Uh-huh. Hey, it's the person from Sneezy?
uh...
It's the Sneezy one. Or no, is that the dragon?
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kinda awkward if we don't say anything.
It's only awkward based off the person, Paimon. Generally, I would just stay quiet, but you're up.
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Nice voice you got there, buddy.
So you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
Your voice, no way.
Wait, that's not it, Paimon's. Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we
My
talk
nose
about?
itches.
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linny would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Why do I feel like him and Zhongli would make really good
so
pals?
You're not friends with Linny then. Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Vaudain.
Nice to meet you.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat.
Yeah?
And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it.
Nervillet? Could he be?
Not gonna lie, really good voice casting.
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is.
Monsieur
Allow me to introduce you to
Nervillet.
Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol
Yeah,
of
yeah.
justice
Hi,
and
Andrea.
honesty here at
Definitely.
Fontaine.
Ooh, sorry for being so
I
rude
used to
now.
just play it in
I had no idea
with
you
the
were
Japanese
such an
voice actors, but
person.
I must
No
say,
offense taken.
they got some
Being
really
Chief
good voice
Justice is
actors
merely
on the
what I do
English
for
side.
work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to.
Yes. What
There's
would it be?
someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been
Oh, great,
striking
it's
a
the
pose
idiot. I mean, the
for quite
Archon.
a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
First
So I think
impression,
should
you
take notice of
say?
her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Nah, I'll keep ignoring her. I like her eyes, though. Oh, great.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
But it's empty.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please
What?
wait just a moment longer.
Okay, so
I've pretty
she
much
is
finished
definitely
my
the
preparations,
Hydro
and the
Archon.
performance will start as soon as the
Hi,
audience has made their
hello.
way to
Welcome,
their seats.
welcome.
The show's finally about to
Trying to
start.
catch up on story mode before the next update near the end of this month.
Paimon's never seen a
I wanna-
real live
hopefully we can
magic
catch
show
up.
before.
The crowds enter the venue and the curtains open for the show to begin.
Ooh, they're dimming the lights. The show must be starting.
It's showtime, everybody. I hope you got your popcorn out.
Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant.
Yeah!
Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Haha, warm welcome, cause he's a pyro, get it?
Hello, everyone.
Wow.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Nah, I think she's just
Whatever.
sleepy.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
That's a bold claim. Is that the Phantom of the Opera?
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
But I have magic
Now,
without a vision.
Without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Okay, gotta start blinking. Blink, 1, 2,
A
3,
magician's
4,
greatest
5,
skill
6, 7, 8, 9,
is
10, 11,
making
12,
things
13, 14, 15.
disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Nothing happens. Nice hair. There's a hidden pocket in there, I can tell. Nice invisible string. Look, I really don't want to play 52 card pickup, so... please stop making a mess.
But this
You
is
know what the
you
janitor's
came
gonna think about it?
These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky.
Oh, I do? Thank you! Thank you so much, Eloy. I really appreciate it.
Using this water tank,
You know, because of that, you make me want to do karaoke again in the future.
right
Which I
before
probably
your
should do,
very
because
eyes.
of... I haven't canceled my subscription of Carafun. I should probably do that. Oh. Oh! Hello there.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top.
What top? It's closed.
Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Virtuoso? I haven't heard that since League of Legends. Where'd she go? Nobody knows. Oh my god, she turned naked! Invisible Girl
Lynette,
from My Hero
are you still
Academia, is
there?
that you?
Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
You mean Vision?
I'm back.
Uh-huh.
But wait, what about the clothes inside that, container? That's a big bow. I just realized. Really, is that all? There could have been more. Grab an audience from the stage. I'm sorry, it's just because I've actually seen, well, not that many, but I don't really see that many live performances by magicians. I think David Blaine and Chris Angel spoiled us too much. What a show! No wonder he's a famous magician.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right.
But that's what actual magicians enjoy, though.
Amazing.
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
To be fair,
performance.
magicians enjoy
But
other magicians'
our
magic
magical
based off
journey has only
the
just
mechanisms
begun.
behind the
I've prepared
concealment.
even more astonishing surprises for
They're more
everyone
impressed
here.
by how it
The
occurred
magic
rather
of
than
transformation and
what it appears to
disappearance
be.
can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations.
And what would that
So,
be?
for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
Oh, who are you gonna choose? I'm
Please,
assuming it
if
might be
my
me.
assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is
That's
there
not
in the
that
aisle
is
among
not
the
a
audience.
box. That's a telephone boot from
I'm sure many of our
from
clever
Doctor Who.
audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box.
Wow.
Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
Let's watch and see. I'm sure we could spot how he does it.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate.
Let me guess.
then,
It might be me.
Let's begin. Let me see.
You could read that?
07C3, congratulations!
Oh wait, never mind.
You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
How do you get there
I'm
so
sorry,
fast?
it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible.
Oh, how
You
nice.
don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box.
That
If
doesn't
the
sound
magic is
reassuring.
interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do.
No,
Could you all give me a
unfortunately.
countdown?
I honestly
Like
prefer,
60.
so
59,
I used to
58.
try to do kick,
Just
but
keep counting
multi,
down.
what's it
You can go a
called?
little faster or slower
What's
if you
the
like.
term for it?
You
Multitasking
won't be
between
able to
two
see
different
anything in the
platforms
pitch-black
just
box,
seemed to
so
be
I'll
too difficult for
relying on
me.
your voices
Maybe
to know
if
when time
we
is
get
up.
enough,
Oh,
if we build a
and no
community big
tricks
enough
now.
that
If
would
you
prefer
quickly
me
count from
on
60
Twitch,
in
yeah,
just 30
probably.
seconds, then
But
I'll
at
be
this
in a
moment, I
tough
want to
spot.
just focus on one platform.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
I'm sure Lenny's prepared. With the whole crowd counting together, you can even oh, sorry. Sometimes, do you ever just like read something and then just brain fart when that happens? I'm sure Lenny's prepared. With the whole crowd counting together, you can even if you wanted to.
No, that won't do.
I'll be honest, I know
I can see
YouTube
it
is
in
going to
your
be the
eyes.
more
You
difficult
still
platform
can't be
compared to
trusted.
Twitch, but
Let's practice together.
honestly, I like the
Come on,
challenge.
repeat after me.
So, honestly, that's
60,
why I chose
59,
YouTube as my main
58.
platform.
60, 59, 58.
58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
That's a good
I'm
question.
counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just
Not gonna
enjoy
lie,
the
Nouvellette
show.
is a mood right now.
Alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39.
You know, that used to happen a lot in high school, where I get misinterpreted a lot just because I'm more focused on other things, so it just gives off a weird interpretation. For example, I never really ate in the lunchroom because I wanted to finish my homework on time, so I was always in the library. I would always ate my food fast because time was of the essence.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
I think it's all part of the show. Maybe he's just supremely confident in his abilities. Bang.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Did they come from the stage? Maybe it was just to divert Maybe it was just to divert our attention.
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it. 25, 24, 23.
What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Uh-huh.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
This is what we call
That's
a
unacceptable.
distraction.
I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18, 17.
I will say, the way that it's laid out, this looks like a small theater. Just because of the limited number of seats.
It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's alright. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
Cutscene time.
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try
Are you
again.
ready for a magic trick, everybody?
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5,
That doesn't count!
Amazing! How did he do that? It must have been magic! Unless it was the power of a vision. It turns out to be... That does not look reassuring.
What happened?
You've been framed.
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
But of course.
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of justice.
Okay,
No need to be
Farina.
alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
I wonder what happened.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was
Oh,
Cal,
what?
one of
Oh.
the assistants in Linny's magic
I
troupe.
didn't know.
Apparently, the
You don't
fireworks on
really
stage
see
ignited the
characters
ropes
die in
that
this game, so
suspended
that was
the
actually quite a shock for me.
Then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowl in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
But where did the
And
guest
after an
go?
initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Another good question is, where is Linny?
The
Or
serial
Lynette?
disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
And to pull it off like this in front of an audience including the Archon and Chief Justice.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
I mean,
Huh?
no brainer.
Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not?
I really like her
The
eyes.
missing girl disappeared
They're so
after
shiny.
being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one
I'm gonna
of
unlock
your
her after I get
assistants,
the
is he not?
Dendro Archon.
Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was
I wanna
nothing
collect all the
more than a
Archons.
provocation, a bald-faced
And then
challenge.
maybe Danceliff.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
He's a suspect at most. It's hard to believe all this happened during the show.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping
Justice.
and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, Of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing.
Don't tell me it's me
That's
once
right.
again.
I mean
Of course!
you,
Of course
Traveler.
it's me!
You'll support Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
Well, if that means I get to fight you, I trust Lenny.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
You know I'm ready to trade hands with you, Farina.
But with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome.
Sounds like you're drawing out this conversation, if you ask me.
Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Huh? It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed,
Mm,
and as such, a trial is in order.
In order?
Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you,
Okay.
are you willing to act as Mr. Lenny's attorney and defend him in this case?
Why is there no option? Yes, I am.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth.
Alright. So this is what this arc is.
Lenny and his troop
We're
are
playing
all
Sherlock
potential
Holmes.
suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time.
Objection! Take that!
I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Everyone is dismissed and the audience begins to leave along with Farina and Nouvellette.
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Nope.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No, it's hard to say.
I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened.
Anything
so
is
I can only
possible in this
imagine how
case.
difficult it is for you to grasp the situation. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did.
Unfortunately,
Even a
you are
skilled
not
and
allowed to
knowledgeable
go
magician
in.
Like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Yes, it is very strange, but there's no denying what happened.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must
Oh my
have
God.
been that which is possible.
I was about to say that, but Paimon, where did you get those glasses?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self.
Lenny, someone just literally died in front of you, and that's all you have
With
to
the
say?
guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I won't let you down. I'm used to this sort of thing.
Yeah, just leave it to us. start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
That's correct.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
That doesn't matter.
Because
You are
behind our
being
magic are
accused.
past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted
Yeah,
during the
Paimon looks
trial.
hilarious.
'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it.
It's not gonna hurt you
But
to
if
reveal
revealing
those
our
secrets.
will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to
I can't
discuss
take
our
Paimon
magic
seriously.
tricks.
I can't.
We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case!
Paimon, I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation
And she
going?
still has it on. We're Linny and Lynette's attorneys.
I see. You must be the traveler that...
And this guy has a mustache as well.
Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
Come
Deceased
with
is
me.
one of Linny's assistants, named Cowell. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it.
But why was Cowell inside? Wasn't the girl supposed to be in there?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident.
I
If
see.
anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
You're not wrong.
He doesn't have a motive.
We don't know that, Paimon. We don't know
Are
that.
you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand.
He's not wrong.
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
But that's not always true. People can also be the most reliable evidence.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good.
Nah, Esben
And
has
when you
the
investigate
correct
scene of the crime
perspective.
yourselves, if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Thank you so much, Aloy. You have a good one. You can always watch the replays, no worries. Hope you have a good one. Have sleep dreams. Make sure to study well. You can use the case record to confirm your current evidence and clue collection situation and sort case-related information. You can check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues in the case record, then investigate the corresponding area to locate them. Use the perception skill to find evidence and clues that can be investigated within a certain radius around yourself. This will advance your overall progress. The investigation from the guards indicates that the fireworks launched at the tail end of the magic performance set the rope dangling to the water tank alight, causing the tank to fall and kill Cowell, who was within it. It seems evident that Linny is the likeliest user of the prop to commit a crime. However, the reason for the victim being Cowell and the reason for the chosen lady's disappearance remain mysteries. Deceased is one of Linny's assistants named Cowell. He was well trusted by all of his colleagues. His job was setting up and inspecting props as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. Alright. Let's investigate. This is where the magic box was struck. If Cowell weren't inside that box at the moment, he might have dodged it. R2. Okay. Investigate.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Interesting.
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lenny didn't realize this was a safety concern, or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait! Why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes!
This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It's only broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown that the location where the rope snapped was made of flammable material. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Oh.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector?
So all we could tell from this is this was orchestrated.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Just give me the
Lenny
details.
used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
And what did you
Turns out
find?
The seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure
Interesting.
you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Thanks, sorry to bother you.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
The device was used during Lenny's magic performance. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly someone has tampered with it. Alright, let's take a look at these. Hey, it's all good, Hiloy, don't worry about it. It's already late over there, so I totally understand. Make sure to rest up, alright? You can always watch the replays of the VODs anyways. All good. I can't climb this. Oh, there's stairs though. Ooh, what do we got over here? Hey Maurice, what do you got for me?
What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the magic troupe members are currently considered prime suspects.
Oh wow, really?
The
Hey,
investigation
Chicken
team
Seed.
is still collecting evidence.
So I wanted to give you a heads
Seats
up.
were all booked in advance.
For
So
this
we're able to
upcoming
deduce the missing woman's
Armored Core
identity by
stream,
checking the guest list.
it's gonna be New Game Plus. So what happened was I had a audio issue with the last stream. We got the good ending, but the audio was not sufficient enough, so that one's gonna be privated, unfortunately. But hey, on the bright side, New Game Plus. Yeah, I did. Fun experience, but the game's not over yet. Nope. Still gotta play it 2 more times if I want to get that true ending. Yeah. Hopefully you can stop by for one of those streams, but don't feel like you're forced to come to every stream. You can always watch the VODs, you know? And I also want to get Titanfall 2 because that's on sale, but yeah. The seats were all booked in advance, so we're able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Can you tell us who she is?
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Holly.
Yeah.
She's a painter from Fontaine.
I always wanted to play Apex, but I don't mind playing its predecessor as well.
She wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The magic troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe
Hopefully,
at all,
some more interesting games to be announced. I do want to play some fighting games. I mean, though I haven't touched Street Fighter 6 in a while. Hopefully, I know about the Tales of Arise DLC. I need to beat Tales of Arise first, which I've been prolonging for so long. Oh man, I'm sorry, Tales of Arise. I'll beat you eventually. Thanks for letting us know all this.
I don't need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom
But
of
yeah,
this disappearance.
I'm really hyped for all the games. Need to wait for sales though. Yeah. Information about the missing lady's identity. Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch a mag show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been taking quarrels with any of the members of Lady's magic troupe. So yeah, overall, for my initial playthrough, I went with Ares' side. That final boss, not gonna lie, I had more trouble with Snail than I did the actual final boss. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But even then, the bosses were really fun. I'm just kind of disappointed the final boss didn't really have a second phase. It felt so short-lived. Oh, there we go.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested
And
too.
you're right, stun baton, or the baton was OP. It helped a lot.
Me, all right?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I
Let me
tell
drink
you
some
my
water.
hypothesis first? The way I see
When am I playing Armored Core
it all
next?
started with that loud
Friday.
thud.
Yeah, this coming Friday.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that
Oh yeah, yes, for those battle logs, I totally understand.
Yes, exactly.
As well as for those chests, I need to actually go buy myself a better scan head. I'll probably have to do that exploration off stream, but at least during the stream I will be completing the story mode again, once again, but faster since obviously one, we don't have to focus on Arena, and we already know the majority of the bosses, so, and since it's New Game Plus, we're already strong from the get-go.
It may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice, Lynette perhaps, jumping atop the water tank or something like that. When the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't
Yeah, you could also skip a lot of the cutscenes. It's only the ones that I didn't select in the decision-making process. I'll be honest, I'm actually not that fond of the tower defense portion of the games. It felt suffering. I mean, granted, they weren't that difficult, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to play that type of game in a mech game, you know? Then wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard. But I'll probably fight the bosses once again for the future stream. I thought, honestly, I thought the melee restriction to being on one arm was going to be an issue.
Over here.
But overall, I thought it was actually a good balance.
Huh? You mean
specifically when they allowed switching the shoulder
If I'm not
weapons.
mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No?
Allow me to think more about the patterns and when I can use those weapons appropriately.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Luckily, there was only 2 parts of the... There were only 2 missions for tower defense.
Heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it.
Okay, Spina di Rosula.
Navia have the honor of being its renowned president.
You're a president, I see.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Okay, boss. A boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
What's it to ya?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need.
Oh.
You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is
True,
fine.
true.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di
Yeah,
Rosula
Monster Hunter.
anyway.
I'll definitely take a look at
Merely
that.
trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
So you want to investigate as well.
That's right.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wish Capcom releases some new IP outside of like that dinosaur game. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I could always use a fresh new fighting game that's completely new or something like that.
That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Oh great, it's just another Mona.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask
So
if she
in
was
5
pressing
hours,
charges
well,
just to
hopefully
keep
the
her from
announcements
getting
are
carried
good.
away.
They're definitely good. It's Tokyo Game Show after all.
Charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
But yes, despite being a content creator for almost a year, oh my god, it's been almost a year. So many more games I want to definitely learn and play.
I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Well, when you put it like that.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I still gotta prepare for my 1 year. Gotta get... Still stuff in the process, but I gotta make stuff just to prepare.
You won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well, it's based off the region.
Well?
Not always.
And why would that be?
Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside. Something serious like a trial shouldn't be treated like entertainment.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I too think that the Traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors.
Much appreciated, boss.
I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Not gonna lie, every time I play Armor Core, I get so addicted to it. But the tension of not playing it offline, specifically story mode, is endearing. But at the same time, good thing we got ourselves already initial ending. But I gotta make sure. I already know where to find Moonlight, but I have to find it personally. I know the location. I don't know specifically where. I just know the location I have to check. So I want to get the scan items. Maybe after. I don't want to If I encounter it throughout my playthroughs, then that's fine, but I don't want to search for that weapon immediately and be like, okay, now we can go through New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus. I think you're missing the point, Paimon. Seems you already agreed then.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
But yeah, surprisingly, I only had to use 2 specific builds for the initial playthrough, and I thought they were really dope. They helped a lot.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there?
I will say, I enjoyed the good ending of Armor Core 6. That was fun.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Alright, let's continue on with this game. Ah, there's one more. Gotta talk to you.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
Interesting.
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that
And
point on.
another game that I was interested in playing would have to be, what was it? The First Descendant? Is that what it's called? I know that's currently in open beta, so maybe that's something I could play as well. What about this? What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because
It looks cool. It looks cool. Maybe I'll show it on stream.
I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck.
I like
But
this
still,
voice actor.
I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So,
Interesting.
it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we?
Understood.
Not gonna
I'll be
lie,
going with
I
you.
don't mind these
Just
cutscenes,
so
but I
you're
want to
aware,
fight.
I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good.
Unless this is like Ace Attorney, which actually makes you think a lot about the game. Ooh, a new Ace Attorney, that would be cool.
I'm just doing my job.
I wouldn't mind playing that.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got
She's
a
really
little carried
fashionable.
away there.
That would be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are already remaking Persona 3.
And these are my companions.
Not gonna lie, it makes me not want to play. I have Persona 4 Golden, but I don't want to play it if they're just gonna remake it.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Because honestly, I was thinking about buying the Persona 3 on Steam, but since it's already being remade,
It's not
you know.
every day you get to see the secrets behind magic.
Not gonna lie, I think it's the resurgence of Persona after Persona 5.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Ooh, another Last of Us? That'd be really interesting. Maybe if it focuses on entirely different characters, because I feel like, what's her name? Was it Riley? That's her name, right? No, Ellie. I feel like Ellie has gone through enough.
Notice anything strange here?
The music is really appealing. I definitely recommend listening to the OSTs. connecting it with the story really makes you really makes you hyped. But yeah, maybe a completely new cast for The Last of Us, because
Balloons and other
I
decorations.
really didn't like the cast for like the characters in Last of Us 2, just because they showed us two sides.
Still far from discovering the
When in
answer.
reality, I always supported Ellie's side and Joel. I didn't really care for the other main character, which they tried to make it seem as though they were the good people the whole time. Yeah, no. The back of the door isn't the same. Yeah, it was such a good,
You mean the inside of the door?
that is the one thing about Naughty Dog, they know how to make really good stories.
Very good indeed.
Like, you could honestly
I thought you might not be able to catch
you don't
that,
even have to
given that you were
play The
sitting in
Last of
front
Us to
row.
enjoy it. You could just
The back
watch
of
all the
store was
cutscenes and
patterned.
just enjoy
Those
the show.
patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Wait, does this mean there's another box inside this one?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
So there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the two boxes together.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as
Well,
you
this
saw
was a
place.
given.
The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flat
You know what
trolley?
would definitely break the... For the FGC in particular,
box with the lucky audience
well, I don't
member in
know,
it would be
they already had
shown
a
over to the other side
past
using the
history of
trolley.
messing some stuff up.
This trolley can
But
raise and lower, and
it
you can
would
rotate
bring a lot of
ensuring the
hype
box
if
is
they
facing
brought
the
back
right direction.
another Marvel vs. Capcom game.
I see. So that's
Infinite
the
got
base of the
bad
box
reception,
inside another box.
but if they brought it back once more,
The inner box would
improved,
descend after
fixed
the
all the
audience member was put
issues,
inside and be moved along
then
the trolley.
definitely.
All while the outer box would remain
Not gonna lie, I would just
unstable,
take old school Marvel vs. Capcom 2 if they just remade that. Just give me Marvel vs. Capcom 2, ported,
Once the box was
updated,
moved,
rollback
the trolley would store
netcode,
some
and then
energy through this device
you got me.
here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience
That would be
member
my
would only be able to
favorite.
feel some slight
No,
movements in the
that's
dark,
still a
and by the
stretch.
time she
That would
walked
definitely be a
out,
stretch.
She would already be back on stage.
Maybe another Devil May Cry? Maybe? Really? Then what about your side of the trick?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near
It would be nice, but I feel like Capcom has a lot, well no, they have their own, like, groups when it comes to, like, making stuff,
My assistant
so
and
it'd be
I had
really
already
interesting
scripted
if
our
they really
conversation
decide to.
beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the
Marathon.
opposite box via a
What was
tunnel
Marathon
using
again?
that
Wasn't that shooter?
What about Lynette? Where was
It was the shooter, wasn't it? I don't remember what it
I
looked
was
like.
in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant.
Ah, okay,
I was the one
that
who
makes
walked out of
sense,
the
that
box
makes
at the
sense.
end.
Okay.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes, and no one can tell who's who.
That's quite
And
scary,
that's
Linny.
my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
Cyberpunkish with sci-fi. Oh, I'm getting the vision now. I think I know what you're talking about. Oh my god, but Halo. Man, I remember just first Halo. I loved first Halo and Halo 2. Those were the days, and man, those were so good when they initially came out. That was when the cyber sword was so broken. You could just fly in with the sword. The sword didn't have ammo, that's what made it so fun. But then you got someone with a RPG and then they shoot at point blank and kill both of you. I love the Ghost, I love the Banshee. And those were good days. Wow, what I do remember were big family gather. I think my most nostalgic memory, which felt really weird, even though I wasn't an active player of Halo, but I always got to play it a lot during family gatherings and parties. So, because there was just like a lot of kids and like teenagers, there was 2 setups for Xboxes. Another Halo? That would be... It has been a while, I will admit. It has been a while since we've gotten a Halo. What I do remember from like old family gatherings and parties, there would be 2 setups for Xboxes, one for the teenagers and then one's for like the preteens. And then it was basically like a fun LAN party where we faced, it was a 4v4. And it was actually quite nice, even though I probably lost it, but it was nice. Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending.
I will admit,
Microsoft
has some good IPs.
Area, and the trick would be complete.
Maple Story, oh my god. I miss Maple Story 2.
Saw, Cal was in the box, not our
I want Maple Story 2 to come back.
She, on the other hand,
it's never coming back.
Vanished.
After I upgraded my graphics card, I was gonna play it so proactively.
If not for that interlude, this would have been
but never came to fruition.
I probably never would have figured
Maple Story is just way too huge.
And yet, to think that someone was able to use
I want a Dragon Quest IX remake. That's what I want.
Could we have a look around?
That was one of my favorite Dragon Quest games.
This is the scene of the crime, so Lyney and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air.
Ooh. No, they already announced the Final Fantasy. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to replay OG Final Fantasy VII. But then again, it would be similar but entirely different experience because apparently the story is slightly different. Lyney gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside the box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via tunnel underneath. And Lyney himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Meanwhile, having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of an onstage interaction. The magic box on stage had an additional layer to its rear, in which Lynette and Lyney's clothes remained hidden. She would appear at the end of the magic trick and lead people to believe that Lyney had been able to instantly move to the box on the other side. The magic box at the center of the audience has 2 layers. The beneath of it is an entrance to an underground tunnel. This is how the lucky audience member was meant to have been transferred without the audience noticing. Alright, let's see. Oh god, that's way too much. Alright, let's burn through all this. That's way too much. But yeah, if they brought back an old school fighting game, like even what's it called? I forgot where Akira from Street Fighter V came in. Fighting schools? No, what was it called again? I forgot the name. It had Batsu in it. That's all I remember.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different... Whatever.
If they brought back that, like, I would love to play another. Asura's Wrath. Ooh, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. You know, now that I think about it, Asura's Wrath was basically just Japanese God of War. That's what it was. Asura's Wrath was just Japanese God of War. Which is not bad.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you... And here's a broken vase!
That can't be.
There are many pieces of broken flower face on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. Clothing, ooh la la.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience. Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lyney didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you... Ugh, this is so confusing.
The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in a tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. I don't know, there's just so many possibilities. But then again, I hope Tokyo Game Show always remains the same. I hope it never ever becomes another, what you call it? What's it called again? E3. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by, Chicken C. You have a good one, alright? Yeah, E3. Because the problem with E3 is it became less about the games and more about celebrities. Yeah. Alright, I won't keep you here any longer. You have a good one, alright? Looks like
Seems
events.
someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape room?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to
See
pull
ya,
another
Chicken C.
person with them, the
You have a
space
good
would
one.
be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than the boxes that go through the magic boxes, and Lenny and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
The tunnel vent looks like it could allow 1 person passage, barely, but leaving along with the missing lady seems an unrealistic prospect.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be up.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is
Paimon,
how a
why are you
trial
still
goes
wearing
in the Opera
that?
House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Alright.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Yes, Silver, yes, thank you.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balance.
I should finish the food in the kitchen. Now's not the time to be picky.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Sounds nice.
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Where are we adventuring to?
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Fascinating.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
How reliable.
Sugar and almonds at the ready.
Nice job, Silver. Silver's awesome.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Must be a spin into Rosalula thing. The Via methodically handles ingredients and pulls fresh macaroons out of the oven. Ooh, those look good.
God, it smelled good while it was still in the
Those are some big macaroons.
Better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency.
This
or your
girl has
macarons
wife
will
bow
crack.
material.
Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Actually, sugar is meant actually helps assist with muscle memory and
This is
stuff.
demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Thank you. Why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Come on.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
We're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this third person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are...
Let's see. What do we got here? Hmm.
Amazing though, Navia. They smell great. They're nice and crisp and super sweet.
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3.
Hi, Tokako. Welcome, welcome.
Please don't worry.
Just putting my detective
At my
wits
age, a few less sweets
in
might actually be a
in
good
display
thing.
right now.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine if you ate them. You ate them. Oh, it's fine. Everything knows how much you love eating.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you?
Nah, I'm trying to gaslight you right now, Paimon.
Then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Oh, hey,
Set up the
Snowball.
stove again, if you would.
Been a while. Hope you're doing good.
What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, there's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Well, this really is your hobby,
Let me drink some water. Just preparing for 1 year, which is around 3 more months away. Got a lot to prepare, but
That's it for
well, it's
snack
not that
time.
much.
I'm going to have
Everything's
another
going
look
by
around the
swimmingly.
area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again.
Alright, I'll try my
It
best.
would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
Paimon, please remove those glasses.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything.
Neither Colwell nor Halsey had the motive, but after having talked to Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too. Wait until trial.
Put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare.
Okay.
Take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Oops. Alright, let's see if I got anything else in store for me to review. Yeah, I have a huge roster of characters. I have a lot. I played this game for quite a while. No, I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. There we go. I guess we could just wait unless we could get to the other location. Enter the tunnel. Boop. Gotta find all the clues that we can. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Yeah. Oh well. Let's go back up there and then let time pass by. Turn to the surface level. Just trying to get through the story before the updates. Alright. Where's the clock? Till what time was it? Where's the clock? There it is. Till 10. Ooh, 10. There we go. And there we go. 8! Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Come on. There. 8 o'clock. And Paimon still has the mustache on. Yeah, no problem.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
How dare you, Farina?
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Just you wait.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Linley clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is
Mr.
stunned.
Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have
got
been in
proof?
the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that
I really like her eyes. I'm sorry I keep saying that. But I just like the shifting colors and shapes
But when the
of
count
the
reached
drops.
30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lily not know about the sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the Oritrice's stance on the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
We shall see about that.
Aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui?
No
That's quite
wonder they
concerning.
Did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
that's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Alright, let's show our prowess.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost...
Alright, let's take a look. Well, there's nothing I can do here.
It's too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Too bad I can't use any of this.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Because it was not of relevance. Linny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linny, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about the magician's ability to con others. Given how Linny has concealed his identity, this could all have been a setup beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linny.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Ooh, he is not winning this case.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linny's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
Yes, I do.
In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
You will regret that laugh. While court is adjourned, you may be laying Lynette backstage in the Opera House.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys.
Too bad, too late. Or, yeah, too bad.
Not the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain.
Explain.
I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
Honestly, I'm just gonna take all you guys down.
Our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know this isn't just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
You're right, I don't trust you at all.
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigation,
it's probably a
we learned that the
gnosis.
machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only
75 seconds countdown from 60.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Welcome back.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
So there was a third party involved.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates? Probably the Fatui.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either.
The only way to uncover this
like
case
I
is
said
exploring
earlier,
through that
you can be
vent.
the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges. I believe that judgment will be suspended as it should.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lenny claims he headed to the chamber containing the Oratrice's core upon entering the tunnel. It did not witness the crime taking place, and thus did not hear the thud. Lenny claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the Oratrice's core within the Opera House's underground structures. Let us go. Let us reveal the truth to them. The brief adjournment ends and the nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may
You have a good
continue
one,
stating her
Snowball,
reconstruction
or
of the
Tocado.
events.
No worries. Thank you so much for stopping by.
That took long enough.
Hope you have a good one.
If everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Based on the opposition account events, you can identify loopholes in their statements. Use evidence and clues during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutation to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The Oratrice will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and reveal the truth. Let's do this!
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Okay.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
Good claim.
Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the...
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
Alright, let's see. Lily entered the tunnel as the countdown began. Let's see. And did not witness the crime taking place and thus did not hear the thud. No one left the opera house and after those two incidents? Okay.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Linny knocked Halsey out using the vase and removed her clothes to prevent her from being identified. However, was Linny really in the tunnel at that time? Let's see. Linny knocked out Halsey during the vase and removed her clothes to prevent her from being identified. The clothing belonged when missing were found. The reason this remained Lane must have been... The existing evidence indicates that when Linny returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place, and all Linny saw was...
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Okay. As the countdown began. After the incident, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave. A meticulously designed magic box causing the water tank to crash out and make everything seem like an accident. Let's see, no one left the opera house during the magic show. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the hustle. Can't use that. During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audiences heard. Let's see. Based on the opposition's account, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any assertions. Use your to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. Okay. And thus did not hear the thud. Let's see. Identify loopholes? I really don't know. So what else am I supposed to do here? What else am I missing? Let's see. There we go.
Lenny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Okay.
Attention! Ace detective.
Let me go switch my headphones real quick. Where are they? There they are. Oop. You did not hear all that noise. There we go.
That started. Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. Finally, he reached the surface.
There we go. Equalized. That wasn't that bad.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to sound!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Lenny by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Lenny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has also become a critical clue. Okay. Oh. Let's see.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... Select the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select the answers, reveal all empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. Once you've answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. The guard's investigation reports indicate that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Caldwell in the box below. If Lenny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lenny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by using a box inside the box, ideal for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Lenny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of an onstage interaction. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in a tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Who was the only person who could possibly have committed the crime? View key information.
Could there have been a third person involved? The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
True.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? The deceased's name is Cow.
There we go. That was my bad. I just saw the option available.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Let's see. To the vent.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Let's see.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lenny as well. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances, so where would the... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Where did missing Halsey go?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So there must have... The sound we heard may have come... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Linny was not in the tunnel at that... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So there must have... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have... The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have...
Where did missing Halsey go?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Okay, so it's that one.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Really? It was the last one?
No one entered or left the opera house.
What? The criminal must have understood the methods behind Lizzie's magic and must have been in the position. Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. A strange choice could have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Linny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. That would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic. But according to guard testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if we had taken her, there were no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would have been discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result...
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Magic, escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Yes.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
The water. Nice.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Caldwell's personal effects. We might find something there.
Must we already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
After some time, a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date.
So he dissolved the missing girl.
The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
But why did he die, though?
You're kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Alright, let's use our brain. The liquid from the guards found in Cowell's luggage seems to have the ability to dissolve Fontainians into water. Who is the prime suspect currently? Cowell?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Now it seems like the hook rope...
What item did the culprit use to dissolve Halsey?
The water from the primordial sea should already...
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
I remember there was something else within the inner...
Nice!
It's in the original plan. Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
But what did he encounter?
Actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowl's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
Who would that
I shall now
be?
invite him on stage to share it with us.
The guard.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the Primordial Sea among Linny's personal effects.
Lenny?
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Does this not clear, my dear citizens?
Alright, let's do this.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young, having made modifications to the props beforehand. His accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to... But upon his return, in cruel avarice, ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the...
Alright, let's see.
Am I right? We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no... Is this the end of the...
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't... seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
I think we've all seen enough. I believe this is indeed...
Nope. Nope, there's still one more.
Now then, my good... excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
Oh?
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements.
I wonder what it is.
But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance.
I understand.
This better be worth a while.
And voila.
Oh?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
Oh.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're a practiced hand at concealment, probably. Pressure leash can make it work.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Now it's time to refute the Hydra Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Alright. Let's see. There we go.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. The device was used during Linny's magic performance.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened. The the flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
There we go.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel, hearing the commotion. Cowell, he did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but with no way of escaping, she changed her...
The perfect escape.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Well, it's in our favor.
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Nope.
Wow. Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Bravo.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Well, we already know who won. Isn't that the gacha from Honkai Star Rail?
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Hooray!
Victory for Ace Detective
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Confess!
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration.
A drug?
We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh my. He turned into water.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
The question is, who is this boss? However, nothing is found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after Vaughn dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
What do you want?
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't want to wish to see anyone be falsely accused. I just wanted to be sure that we're square.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
We're gonna kill him.
Knave?
I mean, destroy him.
The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks.
Okay.
I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there.
Good for
To
you.
my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days.
Bye-bye.
But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
Benefits.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Ooh, that's scary.
So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains, so what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
That's all in the past though. The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy.
For all we know, it could be an
House members
experiment.
here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's alright, I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand, but goodbye.
Bye, Linny!
Leave the opera house.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
What does she need?
This whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well, I'm sorry, Navia.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny. I wasn't necessarily looking into the serial disappearances case.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
That's true.
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us
It wouldn't
as partners,
hurt.
huh?
Well, I just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Well, if you say so, let's go have that meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Alright. Offer the hydroseals you obtained from your adventures. Okay. Let's see. Alright, let's do this. Long act, not gonna lie. Oh, it's all the way over there. Alright, let's enjoy our meal.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Me too.
Don't worry, we haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Alright. Ooh.
Everything looks so good.
It does.
People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
It's certainly worth celebrating. It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Navi is basically rich Mona.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
Navi is right.
It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Interesting.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's
Correct.
talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
We want to ask the Hydro Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Yes.
I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess
Interesting.
Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to
The fact that
infiltrate the
Paimon
performance
didn't
troupe at the
oppose to
Opera
it is
House,
interesting.
only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty...
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Got
I
it.
can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not...
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Would someone with her personality really feel shame?
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
I'd have to agree, my drink also tasted that way too.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Alright, let's continue. It's time we talk to the Archon.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Try floating a little lower.
Can't you see Paimon's barely an inch off the ground?
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
That was a pretty pricey meal, all thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Bye-bye. Alright, cool. Go to Fontaine and the Opera House. I gotta drink some water.
People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes, and it's clearer than it was during the day.
That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Now we're good.
Vache. Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it?
I can
There might be something nasty in the water.
I can feel strong emotions.
Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Are we finally gonna fight? Oh? Where's this?
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form.
You lost your form.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Could she have been one of the girls who were dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting, I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him?
No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
Okay.
If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it'll be a hard time for him to forget about you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache.
I bet he's the reason for all the disappearing girls.
His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
That means Vachir was a witness to the fact that you dissolved.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the
Ooh,
first
that
time,
sounds nice.
and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
It seems that after the body is evolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Ah, right. I wonder how much time passed in reality.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Okay. Oh? Damn, look at these guys go.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
What is going on?
Chlorand?
Let's go.
Quick, now's our chance!
Ooh. She looks fun. And she uses a sword. And she has a gun. Interesting.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary...
So she has a relationship with Naveen.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever.
Oh, Navia,
What else
sorry.
do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Huh. I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means.
Bashir?
Deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Interesting.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorend was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorend who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a fair meal we had back there. For me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Oh?
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
Excuse me?
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Wait, do you mean that? I thought it tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be sure.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Interesting.
Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine, otherwise we would have been...
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she
Bashir.
heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
I also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice in the found belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Bashir was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Mm-hmm.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try searching for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
By we, you mean us too, right?
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
She did save us.
We're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us would cost them. This will prove to be their biggest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners.
Oh.
But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Okay. Alright. Yep. Ooh. At least want to finish this mission before doing anything else. Go down here. And let's go inside.
It's right up ahead, but...
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Good job, Silver.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Yes, yes, yes. Ooh. Interesting. This is pretty cool. Fancy. This is interesting. Underground sewage. Cool. What a nice place. Interesting.
So, this is your base?
I think it looks nice.
What Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you. Well, so much for my expectations.
Well, our funds have been a
Still
little
looks dope.
tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Oh, nice.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest,
I mean,
our
Jess?
financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh, so she killed him.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
It does seem quite odd. Do you have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records.
That's really interesting.
However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this regard.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
Silver is a Chad.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up.
She is not wrong.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between the two of you.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Then that indicates that he intends to die in that duel.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, it's alright. I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Interesting. Rest in the room. Peaceful night passes under Spinator Luza's protection.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Interesting.
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
What's wrong, Navia?
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Alright. Ooh. This is a long quest, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. It is been around 3 hours? Though this was mostly just like a detective case trial. Wasn't that bad. Honestly, I would have rather been fighting more than anything. It was a long case. Eh. Yeah. I'll continue this in the future stream. I still need to catch up, but I think we'll be able to beat, well, when is the update coming out? Beginning of October, so we should be able to catch up by then. It shouldn't be that long. I hope. I hope. Yeah, we should be fine. Alright. I guess I will call it here for today. No stream tomorrow. I will be streaming on Friday? Yeah, Friday. And another one on Saturday. Friday, I'm gonna do New Game Plus of Armored Core 6. Stop by if you'd like. Well, I think I could go through it pretty fast. And then on Saturday, gonna play some more of 20 Minutes Till Dawn. A lot of fun builds to make. Man. Whew. This was a fun, this was fun exploring the story, as well as pretending to be an ace attorney. Yeah. Hopefully this story, this act has more combat, so... For variety, you know, variety. Alright, gonna call it here. Whoever came by to watch the stream, thank you so much for watching. Whoever's watching this as a replay or a VOD, I appreciate you guys as well. As long as you guys are enjoying yourself, that's all that matters to me. My name is Sono Rayn, and I hope I made your day a little better. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. And away we go. Wow.